Hello guys, so today we're going to be talking about simple cutting. The first is going to be your blunt cut. Okay, the blunt 0-degree cut is the first cut that you start with. Now, when we are performing these cuts, because we're going to learn the 0-degree, then we're going to move into the 45, then the 90, and then we're going to move into the 180. When you do these cuts are going to be combined to complete a haircut. So typically there is no cut that is just simply one cut unless somebody's just getting a straight line across the back of their hair. Okay, because everything is going to be combined typically with 2 or 3 of those forms of cuts. The first one we're going to learn is going to be a 0-degree. Now the 0-degree cut, and when you're doing the cutting, you should have your mannequin sectioned into 4. So 4 sections. Okay. The back section I have put into 1 section, but you should have yours into 4, and you can drop that down, okay? So if you want to do that, we can go ahead and we'll just section this last section off into 4 sections. Now, when we do this, guys, I want you to go ahead at the nape of the neck and take about 1 inch off and drop that down. And then we're just going to kind of move this up out of our way. Now the reason why we do this into 4 sections is because you need to not have to be responsible to have to try to figure out where your section ends and where your section begins. If you have it already divided into 4 sections, you're dealing with less hair and it's just much easier for you. Now the other thing is I wanted to make sure if you're cutting dry hair, you only cut dry hair. If you're cutting wet hair, you only cut wet hair. Dry hair and wet hair, remember, wet hair is going to stretch. It's going to expand. So if you're cutting wet hair, you need to always cut the hair wet. If you're cutting dry hair, you always need to cut the hair dry. All over. Don't wet a section and have a section dry, because now you're going to get an uneven cut. Okay, so we've dropped a section. Always work in sections so that you know exactly what you're doing, okay? And this way it gives you less responsibility, you don't get confused, you don't lose your guideline. Make sure that you are holding your scissors correctly. So you should have that on that 3rd finger and then also your thumb, okay? Now, when you're not using it, palm it. Okay, when you're not using your comb, palm it. Do not set it down. If you set it down, you're gonna lose points on your test. Today, we are only cutting a 1/2 inch, no more. Do not cut more than a 1/2 inch, okay? And 1/2 inch is about this much, okay? That's all. It's about that much, right there. Do not cut more than that. If you cut your mannequin and you ruin it and you can't use it for other practicals, you are responsible for purchasing a new one. Okay, so we're going to start right here. I'm cutting always below the finger, not above, but below. And we want to pull this straight down, not too much tension, and I want to cut about a 1/2 inch. You can see that's about a 1/2 inch. Now also, don't cut beyond the knuckle. If you have hair beyond the knuckle, go ahead and Now I'm lifting mine up a little bit so you can see in the video, but you should always have it straight down. I'm also cutting towards a side here so I can get the other, okay? Okay, once we do that, we're just gonna drop another section down. Don't drop a large section, 1 inch at the most. Maybe even better just to drop a 1/2 inch, and the reason why is because you need to be able to see your guideline. If you can't see your guideline, then you're going to have to resection. And guys, I'm trying not to move into the video cam here as much as possible, so forgive me on that because I don't have somebody to do the videos for me. Okay, again, I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to comb this all the way down. Now I can see my guide. Anything above that guide, I'm going to cut off. I continue to keep a little bit of that section in there. And then we're going to come all the way down to the guide. Anything above the guide, cut off. There may come to a time, especially since you've already cut your mannequin hair, there may come to a time where you go higher and higher and there's nothing to cut. When you reach that point, stop cutting. Again, we're going to go ahead and take another section, comb the hair out, pull the hair to the way you want to section, and section. And I want to keep dropping each section until I run out of hair to cut. Again, comb the hair the way you want to try to do your section. So I'm going to pull it this way because I can see what I'm doing. Now this is a new mannequin, so it has never been cut, so I'm kind of just taking off some of the frizzies that's over there. Again, I'm only cutting 1/2 inch, and I just keep dropping a section down. It's pretty straight, a little bit of flyaway there. Again, I want to comb it straight down. If I have anything sticking out, I want to clean it up. Hope I'm not standing in you guys' way. Again, right here, we're just going to trim that off. And I'm going to continue to drop sections down. This is a simple, blunt, 0-degree cut. When you have a client sitting in your chair, again, section the hair out. If I don't see any hair at this point, then what I want to do is just go ahead and I'm going to drop the rest of it down and move to my front sections. But if you got to a point where you can't cut any more hair, every time you drop the hair down, it's even. Have some hairs that are just falling there, so that's even there. Again, even there. And I'm going to come over here, and it's even here. Got a few hairs there, but those are just coming out. Just kind of clean up that a little bit. So, now that these are all, whoops. Let me grab my comb. Okay guys, if you ever drop a comb, you're with a client, leave it on the floor, don't pick it up. But since we're just doing mannequin work right now, I can. For your test, if you drop a comb, leave it on the floor, don't pick it up. Grab another one, have 2 or 3 combs there for you. So you can see all that is perfectly even. Those are just new hairs that are falling out. So once I've done this, then what I want to do is, again, section by section, we're going to go ahead and section out the front. Again, comb the hair. If you're going to pull to the right, comb the hair this way, drop a section. And there may not be any hair to cut. I'm going to come all the way over here. Again, I'm going to take about an inch section. And just drop it straight down. Now, a real person has shoulders, so you have to decide. Somebody may also want their hair cut straight, but they want the front a little bit longer than the back. That's okay. All you do, if you want that, is you're bringing all the hair back to the back, and you're going to cut it a blunt, straight cut. Now what I want to do is see, is this even? And basically it is. Okay, so basically this is totally even. Okay, so there's not going to be anything I cut on my front. Otherwise, I would just keep dropping section by section and drop that off. Now you also want to make sure that the hair is all combed in its natural growth pattern. When you do that, then just come through, comb through, and just double check. If you see anything that doesn't look quite even, like right here, then just trim it. The same thing with the other side. Easier for me to move my mannequin around than to have to walk around. You guys only cut a 1/2 inch. I'm just going to come down here and look, and if you see anything that's uneven, just kind of cut it and trim it up so that everything is even. So now you have a nice blunt cut, everything is even, and that is a 0 degree cut. It's that simple. This is somebody that wants a straight line. They just want a 0 degree cut, all the hair is one length. They could do a half moon shape, they could do different shapes on the end, but they basically want all the hair one length, okay? So this is a 0 degree cut. It's a very simple cut and can be styled very beautifully. And so the next cut we're gonna move into is what we call 45. All right, guys, that's it for 0 degree cut. And now that you will actually do a video yourself of a cut, and it has to be a video. Cannot be a pic collage. It must be a video. You must explain to me step by step by step what you are doing, okay? All right, guys, have fun with this, and we'll see you in class.